Thank you for staying with us. Now let's get into a critical subject affecting millions of Nigerians abroad. This is simply because as the global Nigerian community grows, so does the need for efficient, accessible and secure identification systems that connect our citizens no matter where they reside. Today we unpack the challenges, explore the opportunities and reflect on the milestones achieved so far in this journey. Tonight, Dr. Alvan Ikoku, Director of the Strategy and Program Office at the National Identity Management Commission, NIMC, is live in our Abuja studio for deep insight into the vision, strategy, and this latest updates by the Commission. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Ikoku. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So the Commission has enhanced its Diaspora enrollment platforms for better security and efficiency. Can you give us an overview of what this upgrade entails? Could you walk us through the key technological improvements made to the platform?
Thank you so very much for having me once more at Dejumoke. It's been a very interesting journey thus far. As a matter of fact, all was going on excellently well for us in diaspora up until we encountered what would seem like a national security issue, okay? And based on that, we had to shore up our enrollment services and all the other services we render in diaspora to be definitely sure that Nigerians out there are getting the best, and also Nigerians at home and the government, which has been so superbly supportive of the cause of NIMC, the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which has been superbly supportive of NIMC with all of the support we get, including from our supervising ministry, talking about the Ministry of Interior, is actually brought to bear. So we got on to upgrading our systems, and it comes with a lot of, it's indeed a bulwark. It comes with a lot of technical challenges to get that achieved, and that's what we've been about in the past last couple of weeks. And I'm very excited to say to Nigerians, both in diaspora and back here at home, that we're home and dry in that regard, that enrollment and other services are going on somewhat flawlessly. So that's more like our take. We've had challenges, no doubt about that, but they're all under control.
All right, talking about these specific challenges and whether this upgrade would cater to those challenges. You know, some Nigerians abroad report limited access to enrollment centers, especially in countries with small Nigerian communities. South Carolina, for instance, you hear Nigerians in that part of the USA, machines don't work, or sometimes they don't even answer the phone. The pre-enrollment site doesn't even work, and some of them have to drive all the way to Atlanta. So that's about addressing functionality. Capacity in terms of limited appointments. There's also the challenge of trust, and in this case, you know, fears of scams or invalid documentation and verification processes. Does this new update or upgrade cater to expansion and improved access?
Well, let me put it this way, that we have to rely on front-end partners to register or enroll Nigerians in diaspora. So that would be greatly dependent on their spread. They are doing an excellent job, and it would be largely dependent on their capacity also to expand. But there is hardly any country that has a significant number of Nigerians that we don't have a presence through the front-end partners. So we hope that this will be adequately catered for. What might have been the flip side of things? I need to put it on record that if we also went the other way without a private sector involvement, then we would definitely be probably considering having offices in Nigerian missions abroad and just there. So the Nigerians in diaspora will still have to make those sacrifices, will still have to embark on those journeys to go to Nigerian missions abroad to do that. But I think we've gone a step further. We didn't operate on that model. The model we're operating is via the front-end partners at the moment, and they have the spread, they have the capacity to embark on data capture, and they have licenses to do so in the countries of that they are domiciled in. Even if they don't, they probably get into technical collaborations with technical partners out there who are very duly licensed to capture or enroll people. So with that, I don't think the issue is so much about the spread. We have a good number of locations across the United States, across Europe,
so
in Asia, and in Africa as well.
How many at the moment, Dr. Ikoku?
How many what? How many centers?
Yes.
Okay. We have about 41. We have about 41 front-end partners, and operating over 1,100 centers across the world.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a moment. You know, before now, NIMC talked about a self-service mobile app for enrollment and verification globally, which would reduce dependence on physical centers. Are these innovations part of this new upgrade?
Yeah, they are there. They are part of the introductions, part of the innovations introduced by the Director General, Engineer Dr. Abisoye Ikoku, who is very prone to innovations. Okay, so they're part of it at the moment. But let me put in proper perspective that at the moment we are not using our self-service services to do enrollment. We're not for that yet, but we can use it for modification, because an individual who needs to enroll for the first time with NIMC, first and only time hopefully with NIMC, would need to present physically, because your biometric needs to be captured. Your biometrics need to be captured, and so it's not something you have to do in absentia. Okay. And so, but people still try to run the system, make those funny attempts. Of course, we're very vigilant. Our technology is top notch, and they can't even get through with that. So the self-service is basically at the moment restricted to modification and not for enrollment, first-time enrollment purposes.
All right. Perhaps we may come back to that if time permits us, but is diaspora enrollment financially sustainable, given the operational cost outside Nigeria? And I'm asking because of two major factors. I'm looking at rapid growth, because I know that at a point, diaspora NIN enrollment surged by over 300% in 2 years. I mean, we're talking about from 366,000 in February 2023 to over 1 million, and to be precise, 1.49 million by February 2025. A budget shortfall is another factor. As far back as 2020, and that's 5 years ago, NIMC acknowledged no dedicated federal budget for diaspora enrollment for 4 years. The report was that operations have largely depended on envelope funding and licensing fees. And while you're here tonight to tell us if that has changed, are there plans for partnerships to reduce these burdens?
Okay, if you noticed earlier, I spoke about the support, tremendous support that we've received from the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We've gotten a great deal of attention of late, and some of our partnerships have also helped in easing our financial burden. Yes, once upon a time, we passed through all of what you just mentioned now, including, of course, the envelope budget funding system. We also have a very responsive and supportive National Assembly who have, of course, tried to make a case for us, understanding of the dynamics of our operations. So that would obviously be a thing of the past. We have some ease in terms of funding. Things have improved for us. And, but the model, like I said, the model we are operating is at the moment with the front-end partners. And these are private sector players. Okay. And they've made very huge, may I even say monumental investment in setting up enrollment centers in countries where they are domiciled. And they obviously need to recoup their investment. And so to that extent, payments will be, they are allowed to charge for their services. But the reverse is the case here in Nigeria. Enrollment remains free in Nigeria. The flip side of things is that, and that I may sound very insensitive if I said that much, but I'll still nevertheless say it. But it may well be better for a Nigerian who is resident in a nearby country to return home and enroll for his or her NIN, rather than doing so in the country, probably a neighboring country. It may make more sense as far as enrollment for NIN is concerned. So please, let's try and understand that the front-end partners who have also made huge monumental investment in helping out in this regard, having the equipment all across the globe, need to recoup their investment, defray their cost of operation. And that's why those charges those fees have to be charged in diaspora. But like I said, back at home here in Nigeria, enrollment is free, and the front-end partners who assist in that regard, because they're also front-end partners here in Nigeria, besides the NIMC enrollment centers, those front-end partners have to be also paid for their efforts here back at home.
All right. I mean, two things you've said tonight, which will lead me to my next question. First, you said this new upgrade does not cater to enrollment, just modification. Also, you said people try to bypass the system.
No. The self-service. The self-service, you said.
All right.
Exactly.
So that, I mean, I think my question is
the
still
self-service is exclusively for modification at the moment, not for first-time enrollment. Yeah.
But then, how is NIMC handling identity verification and biometric capture in regions with connectivity or compliance issues?
Identity verification is ongoing. We're also shoring up our infrastructure. At the moment, we also have a new platform, like I did mention. We have a very innovative chief executive. We also have a new platform now known as NIN Authentication Platform, or for short, NIN Auth. And it's supposed to put control of people's data, people's privacy is duly considered by the persons who would use it as a verification platform. So, but we would also make use of aggregators in that regard. So it's just started, already gained an appreciable level of stability, and we are at the moment onboarding those. We're onboarding our aggregators at the moment.
So if it's ongoing...
Sorry, I can't pull out my phone on national TV. I would have done just that to show you the NIN Auth. But you can download it. Every individual can download it on the Google Play Store and also on the iOS.
Okay then. But how is NIMC ensuring that diaspora users are well informed about the enrollment process, required documents and updates on the system?
May I acknowledge we need to step up our game in that regard. We just simply need to step up our game because one of the challenges I should really have spoken about earlier is that there's probably a challenge of awareness out there. So more and more Nigerians need to know and understand what services that we are offering and know exactly what their rights are in getting those services. We're going about doing just that. There has to be an increase in social media awareness because if that doesn't happen, there might just be a challenge of people getting information from sources where they need not get those information. And when deception creeps in, I think we will have a problem on our hands. And Nigerians would now become all the more vulnerable. So we don't want Nigerians being vulnerable. We want them to get accurate information, and they can do that from our website if they want to. They should shun middlemen. You can get those services from enrollment centers in Nigeria, and the enrollment centers that have been set up by the front-end partners who have been licensed to do so, even in the diaspora.
And I'm also bothered about, public confidence in data protection, which is critical because I know NIMC has advised the public not to share their NIN with unauthorized parties and also promoted the NIN Oath app, which allows individuals to protect their NIN and control how it's used. But, given the sensitivity of biometric data, what safeguards has NIMC put in place to protect the data of Nigerians in the diaspora? What measures has NIMC put in place to safeguard citizens' biometric and, some personal information?
Yeah, so those safeguards are embedded in our systems, in our software, and so when individuals enroll, we have to comply to data protection and data privacy laws of Nigeria. So it will be National Data Protection Act, and also the data protection laws that exist in those countries. So I think is very tight. The front-end partners can not possibly violate that because if they do, they face a whole lot of sanctions. And I'm sure this wouldn't be something so pleasurable for them to do.
Right. So is there a
Nigerians
feedback?
can be well assured.
Is there a feedback? Is there a feedback or grievance mechanisms for diaspora Nigerians to report issues, or perhaps provide suggestions regarding the upgraded systems?
Yeah, we have a grievance redress mechanism in place, and they can actually call in to our numbers, which or simply reach out to the customer service, which is domiciled here at home,
right.
but
is that an email
nevertheless
address?
Operates on a 24 hours basis. Yes, NIMC customer service at, or rather customer service at nimc.gov.ng.
Right. You may have to repeat that before we end this show, but I was wondering how this upgrade would affect the turnaround time from registration to issuance of NINs abroad. Well, because of time, what message do you have for Nigerians in the diaspora who may still be hesitant or face difficulties in enrolling for NIN? What is your message to Nigerians in the diaspora who are yet to register due to distance, frustration, or lack of trust in the process?
Well, if they need to get an NIN, like surely they should need to at some point if they require services, especially government services back at home. Then they need to make provision to go get their NIN in designated centers. As much as possible, there is a spread, even for countries that are quite big in terms of landmass. We have an enrollment, or rather front-end partners who have the spread. Okay, in a country like United States, there are countless, United States and Canada, in North America, there are countless number of, a goodly number rather, of enrollment centers set up by front-end partners. And so Nigerians can take advantage of that. They can book the appointment before they go to these centers and get service. So succor has come. They may have gone at a time that they did not know that our operations were slightly challenged because of the upgrade that we're carrying on. But that is certainly over. We've resumed operations fully, and they can enjoy the services and the attendant safety, safety of data, safety in terms of privacy that comes with getting a NIN, so that they can eventually get government services here in Nigeria.
All right then, but you may have to repeat that email or website where Diaspora Nigerians can report issues or provide suggestions regarding this upgrade.
Okay, customer service at nimc.gov.ng.
All right then, that's it on Diaspora NIN Enrollment. I mean, tonight it was important to talk about the challenges, progress, and the promise ahead. As efforts continue to improve access and efficiency, the milestones so far show that inclusion is possible. So let me say a very big thank you to you, Dr. Alvan Ikoku, Director, Strategy and Program Office,
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your time with us on the program. Thank you, and well done.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. Thank you so much for watching. But before we go, let's tell you that the views and reactions of our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Meanwhile, you can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode at 12:30 a.m. Get in touch with us on our social media handles, Facebook, Instagram, and X at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics.